What it do? Two Beards, One League coming at you for probably the last time for a little while. Season ends. This is the official wrap-up podcast. Joe and I were talking about this before. We'll probably have some drop-in episodes, but not weekly episodes. So hope you guys all enjoyed this. I know the league chat said they appreciated it. I hope everybody's taking part and enjoying it a little bit. But how are you doing over here, Joe? I know it's the day before, it's New Year's Eve. So how you guys doing over there?
Doing well. Just nice, relaxing day here with the family and everything. How about yourself?
Yeah, same. Off today. Had to work yesterday, but off. So nice to take the rest of the week off and talk fantasy with you and just kind of relax.
We got to see each other person face to face
for like 30 seconds. Yeah. I stopped by Joe's house to grab the trophy and then had to leave.
Yep.
But it was nice to see you. I was like, hey, hey, bye.
Especially that hoodie you're wearing. Yeah.
Yes. This was a present from Tyler. He got me this. I was like, dang, this thing's really nice. So
the back looked awesome. So.
Yeah, I loved the back, the Goku. I would show everybody, but
it's all good.
I don't know how to get up and actually show everybody without being in an awkward spot.
It's okay.
Take a picture. All right. I'll take a picture. I'm just like, here we go. So the end of the season, still have some things we want to talk about before we get into everything. So we'll start with our favorite segment. At least my favorite segment has become this, is the special shout out. Because every time it's somebody different and they all let us know in different ways that they're actually listening to our podcast. Sometimes it's members of our league, but in this case, it's actually a spouse of a member of our league. So Felicia not only commented on last week's video, she was the only one to comment, but she actually sent me a text separately and was trying to give me some ideas for what the losers should have to do. So her idea was a tiara and like a little wand that they'd have to go order the pizza in. And while I don't know if that's 100% where I'd want to go, I love that there's ideas, right? Because my biggest thing is like, I come up with the idea because I come up with the idea. But I'm actually, I think I'm really tempted to be like, the champion should come up with the punishment, right? Like your last two Raw before we start the next league is like, hey, what do you want the punishment to be? Do you want it to be like the picture I've been sending is like 2 hoodies, right? Or do you want it to be a tiara? And it doesn't have to be my idea. It can be the champion's idea. Like, hey, you win the money, you get the trophy, and you get to pick the punishment in what they're going to pick up the pizza in next year.
Yep.
I think it's an easy addition and it's fun for them. I still go and purchase it. You just tell me what you want to do, you want it to be. I'll go and purchase it. And I mean, the limit's 50, but I don't think I've ever spent only 50. Like every year, I think I spend 75. Over, yeah, I'm like, whatever, it's fun.
Well, it's because we find cool stuff and it's like, oh, we should do this.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, whatever, I'll get it. So I'm going to float that idea out there now. But I do appreciate Felicia coming in and texting me and being like, hey, what about this? You know what? Thanks, Felicia. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I know I'm not perfect, and I would love when people give me ideas because sometimes they suck and sometimes they're amazing, and I'd rather hear them all than hear none of them.
Yeah, totally.
So there's our special shout out, Felicia. Thank you. Hopefully everybody watches this video and enjoys it. Get to see all the fun things I did for this video. You've seen all of them, and the league has seen most of them. So it's going to be a repeat for some of them, but it's still fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's why we do it.
So that actually I kind of tied in the next segment with it, right? What changes should we make? I think one of them should be the league champ should get a chance to pick the punishment.
For sure.
Fit or whatever. The other thing is Brandon actually reached out to me yesterday. So I haven't had a lot of time to think about this. And I kind of just floated you what he initially talked about. But what he said is we should create a league Discord. And initially he had brought this idea to me like 2 or 3 years ago. And while Keith was in the league, I just didn't feel like he would be able to participate in it.
Yeah.
That's just technology wasn't his thing, but everybody in the league now is younger, within the realm of younger, right? We're all middle-aged men, or middle-aged women in Sarah's case.
I'm like, your wife, yeah.
But all capable of using Discord. And I like the thought, right? Because it gives us more ways to post, which is always. But the other thing I like is, and this is totally stealing an idea from another YouTube channel I actually watched to get ideas for ours. They actually post little kind of crap talking videos in there. And then they put those clips on here to make it fun and entertaining for everyone. Because I think that's what we're kind of strive to be. It's talking about our teams. And that's what you and I do, but we are talking about everybody's teams. And so it'd be nice if everybody else chimed in talking about their team, or their matchup or how they're feeling about their matchup instead of you and I doing it.
For sure.
Right. Because we can sit here all day and say, I think this person's going to win, or I think that person's going to win. But if people are chiming in with quick little clips, and anybody who doesn't send a clip, we can recap. But so I wanted to float that out there. I love the idea, Brandon. And again, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Not only like Joe and I talk all the time. So Joe gives me ideas, and for the most part, either we run with them or we change them up. But I want to hear from everyone. Like, I love that everybody enjoys the league, and I appreciate when everybody tells me what they think could do better. And like, sometimes I have to make calls on like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. But for the most part, I'm always willing to listen. Right. So.
I thought it was a great idea. Most of us have Discord anyway. I think the only ones that I don't know is, well, your wife would need to get one, and then JJ and Jacob and Robert. I think everyone else has one.
JJ has one because we had a Discord for this show when it was, the Three Dudes Fantasy. So I know JJ has a Discord. Obviously, Aaron has a Discord. I'm sure Robert seems super, technologically advanced. I'm sure he has one. Jacob and Terrence. I'm almost positive Jacob games, so I'm pretty sure he has one. Terrence, let me know. But it's like a thing you can download on your
free.
phone. Yeah.
Just need an email.
Just an email.
Needs just an email.
So that was all I wanted to go over there. Just the changes. We always talk about like, let me know the changes before the draft day, right? Because as an example, JJ brought bringing, I think, 2 or 3 more players to our benches for next season, which is a fantastic idea. I would have loved to have that idea before we drafted, right? Because like, these are things that I have to constantly try to remember and write down and hope I don't forget it. And I've missed things all the time, right? Because there's so many things that happen that I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that.
Life happens, so yeah.
I would love to get those changes in while we're talking about it, and not, I hope I remember in July when I reactivate the league.
Yep.
Okay, let's get into our next thing. So Yahoo grades. So we've gone over everybody else. The only 2 teams we didn't touch on were the 2 teams in our finals. So we have Aaron and we have Jacob. These are the guys we just got to look at their draft grades, see how Yahoo ranked them, and see what we agree and disagree with, right? So up first is Aaron. Your mom digs my Penix. He got a B+, was projected to finish 3rd at an 11-3 record. So it wasn't 100% wrong. It says his best pick. So this was one of those times where I was like, dang, Yahoo just kind of killed it. Best pick was Davante Adams, and Davante Adams killed it, right? Like Davante had a great season before he got hurt, was on a roll. Davante Adams was killing it. Mm-hmm. So this is where it got it wrong, though. Cam Skattebo.
Totally. Yeah.
Cam Skattebo before his injury was on pace to just destroy every team in the league. I remember at one point Aaron was like, I need a running back. And then Cam just started like killing it. And I'm like, oh, dude, your team was already so good, and now you have Cam Skattebo. Like, oh, we're screwed. So there's that on Cam Skattebo. You know what? He killed his draft. Yahoo was actually kind of right. It actually had Aaron projected to finish 11-3 in 2nd place. I won't spoil it, but it was close, right? He's in the top 2 either way is what it projected.
Yep.
The next one was Jacob, projected to finish at 9-5, gave him a B- grade. But it was completely wrong on Jacob's players. David Montgomery was considered his best draft pick. David Montgomery, while consistent, was consistently low.
Yeah.
He was 6 to 12 points. He really never had a David Montgomery game except for I think like week 2 or 3 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't bad, but I guarantee you if you go back, Jacob doesn't spend a 7th round pick on him.
No.
But the other side of that is it had George Pickens as a bad
That's
pick.
a worst pick.
And George Pickens, and especially CeeDee Lamb had that massive time in between where he was hurt. George Pickens was putting up 30 points. And then when CeeDee came back, kind of felt like Pickens was the number one.
Yeah.
So I just completely disagree with this one.
Yeah, I would too. Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's kind of funny. I look at all this and go, it was right in some aspects and completely wrong in others, right? It projected Robert to finish dead last, and he was competing for the 3rd spot. It did have Brandon finishing 10-4, and he was in the toilet bowl with you. So that's why I'm always like, just take it with a grain of salt. Yahoo not going to take into account injuries. It's never going to 100% know who's going to do well and who's not, as indication of every time it said the best pick or the worst pick.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was never really that on. Because if you go back today, you take George Pickens in the 5th, like you'd be like, that's a steal.
That's a steal.
If I could go back, I'd probably take George Pickens in the 3rd. Like,
or even Devontae.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we redrafted everything, JSN's not falling to the 3rd round to Aaron.
JSN's not going to anybody but us because we probably would have just kept him or Jonathan Taylor.
Right, exactly.
We'd have a hell of a time of a keeper. So yeah.
So yeah, JSN, Jonathan Taylor's going higher. Like a lot of those players that we projected to do well would have gone at different spots, right? Brock Bowers is not going in the 1st round.
No.
Tyler Warren's probably going in the 6th. Lamar Jackson's probably not being drafted except for the first 3 weeks. Like he had amazing first 3 weeks. And then after his injury, he looked terrible.
Well, Stafford too.
Stafford is definitely going higher. Like all those players change. Everything changes. CMC is probably the 1st overall pick.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Now granted he went in the 1st round, but there would have been no question. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can look through it. And I mean, Amon-Ra probably doesn't go in the 1st round. He probably goes in the early 2nd, but he's not a Possibly. 1st round pick. I'm not taking Nico in the 1st. I'm taking George Pickens over Nico Collins.
Yeah.
You know, like those are all things like not even including injury that change.
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure.
That's why it's like, whatever. If you have a feeling on someone like Jacob did with George Pickens, you take the player.
Just take the player.
I found somebody on Twitter, and he was recapping like best picks in each round. And it was funny because it was mostly Aaron's teams from rounds 3 through 5. Because it was round 3 JSN, round 4 Devontae Adams, round 5 Cortland Sutton. I was like, well, those are all Aaron's picks, so that explains why Aaron did so well. Took the best pick in each round. So
yeah, for sure.
I thought it was fun. The other part of it is round 2 was Jonathan Taylor, which was Jacob's pick. So, you know, we can kind of go back and say it's really about hitting on your picks because Aaron was picking near the front end of the draft, but really just hit on rounds 3, 4, and 5, which carried his team.
Yep, totally.
All right, so the Beat Steve segment, as we've always done, honestly, all we're recapping here is the championship and the toilet bowl, because those are the 2 games, as we talked about in our last podcast. Those were the ones with the most impact. First, let's start with our champ, coming back, Aaron. Congrats, Aaron. I think the in score ended up being higher than what I have here. This is you won, and you still had a player to go, but Jacob had already
pretty much been done. Yeah.
Jacob was done, and you were up 134 to 113. I think I'm trying to find it was 147 to 113 was the final score. Congrats, Aaron. You deserve this. I 100% am, happy for you. I will say Jacob got Jacobs' team was carried all season by Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs, and those two didn't do anything the last little part of the season. Josh Jacobs ended up with 1.3 points before he got hurt. Jonathan Taylor played great, 17.5 points, I believe. But when you're putting up 50 and then you put up 17, it kind of feels like you underperformed.
Yep.
Jacobs' downfall ended up, I think, being Justin Jefferson with his first overall pick.
Yeah.
Now, granted, downfall is second place in a championship game. So, like, context. But I looked it up just to see. And Justin Jefferson, the last 8 weeks of the season, never scored more than 15 and only scored over 10 twice.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, it's how do you sit Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
But that sucks, right? Because you're like, I can't sit him. You're not even getting me 10. Like, I can pick up somebody off of waivers and get me more points than that.
Yep.
So, Jacob, condolences for the loss. He did text me. It's like, he came in second again. That sucks. Aaron, congratulations. It's your second title in 3 years, especially after last season coming in last.
Came in last year.
Come back into first. That's awesome. Our next picture is, unfortunately, you and Mike did lose in the toilet bowl. So I did make this picture. So Aaron is handing the toilet bowl off to you guys, and you do look miserable. So crazy thing about your game. So the championship game ended Sunday afternoon. Jacob's last player played. Aaron was already winning. Game was pretty much over.
Yep.
But your guys' game, that game was amazing. Now, I know it sucks because you ended, you came in last. So if it wasn't you, it would have probably, from my perspective, was awesome to watch.
Sure.
Because, like, for me, like, I'm sitting there going, you guys had Drake May. I'm sorry, I have to look at your actual team. You had Drake May,
Derrick Henry,
who both went off for over 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
You started Jake Tongs because George Kittle was hurt and he got 19. Yep. You started Parker Washington, who got 19.5. Like, I was looking at your score and I was like, they're going to win, right? Even with Alec Pierce having 0, you guys had 166 points.
Yeah. Like that.
And you had 100, I want to say it was like 146 going into the Sunday night game, the San Francisco versus the Bears. And so I was like, okay, well, Brandon still has DeAndre Swift and you guys had Jake Tongs. Brandon also had Bijan.
Yeah.
So the projections, he was down, but the projections were within 2 points, I think. It was crazy close.
Yeah, we were projected to win 166 to 164.
Right. Then Jake Tongs starts going off. He has 7 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Brandon is texting me. He's like, I wish I would have started. And he was like, I wish I should have started Brock Purdy. And like, he was just telling me all the things he did wrong. And I was like, dude, this sucks. Like, sucks for him. I know he's hating his life right now. And then after, like, dust settles, because DeAndre Swift has an amazing game too. He gets 21 as his final stat line. He ended up with 2 rushing touchdowns, like, did exactly what Brandon needed, right? He kept him close. He outscored Jake Tongs by 2. So he's still down 28 points at the end of all this, though.
Yep.
So
he's only projected to get like 21.
Right. So we were sitting there. He texted me. He's like, man, I should have started Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy wins him that game. And he has Bijan. And I looked at it, and Aaron actually brought up the stat. Bijan had 200 yards in his last 2 games or 3 games or something like that. And so Aaron was like, I think it could get interesting. And I was like, dang, it could for sure. And sure enough, halftime, Bijan has Brandon down by 1 point after that 93-yard run.
No, it was over after the 93-yard run.
Yeah, I mean, he was down.
I know he was down 1. Because it was funny. Well, because I was actually talking to Brandon too, because we were talking about other stuff. And Mike had just texted me. He's like, it's over. We just lost. I was like, what are you talking about? He is like, I'm like, because the score hadn't updated yet.
Yeah.
We were still up by like, I don't remember how much, like 15 or something like that. He's like, no, dude, it's over. He's like, Bijan just had a 93-yard touchdown run. I was like, oh. I was like, I don't see it. And then it just, as soon as I said it, it popped up. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, it's over.
You're like, damn.
I was like, oh, well, what can you do?
Yeah, nothing you guys could do. And we've talked about it all season, and I've said this a million times. I feel like you guys are just one of the most, it had been the most unlucky season I'd ever seen. I've had unlucky seasons 100% where like injuries kill my season or whatever it may be. You guys, it just always seemed to be like your team would finally do good. And then, like last week when you guys played me, Puka Nacua goes off.
Yep.
This week it's honestly, Bijan. I was looking at Brandon. It's Bijan, it's Wan'Dale Robinson, it's RJ Harvey, Trey McBride, DeAndre Swift, all scoring over 20 points. Like you guys had Drake May and Derrick Henry. Brandon told me he thought it was over as soon as Derrick Henry went off for his like fourth touchdown. He's like, there's no way I'm coming back. And then just nickel and dimes it back into place. And
because I've seen it happen before where like you get a big lead and then you can lose it. That's why I told Mike, because he had picked up like 2 different tight ends. I was like, we need Tongas, dude. I was like, I believe in him more than, because I think we had Michael Myers
Michael Myers still got 17.
He still got 17, but I was like, I have a feeling, I was like, Tongas has been doing well when Kittle's been out. So I wanted to make sure, just to be on the safe side, like, I know we're up, but still, you don't want to risk it. But yeah.
No, I get you. It was crazy. And again, just from an outsider perspective, like Aaron texted me, he sent me the Philip Rivers memes, the Philip River meme where he was just like, and I was like, why? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like insane, because it was a fun game to follow from my perspective of like watching the game and then like going, oh gosh, who's going to win this game? Like, yeah. But I'm sure from your perspective, it sucked.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily sucked. I don't know if it sucked, but it kind of blew my mind when Mike literally texted me. He's like, yeah, it's over. I was like, how? I was like, nothing's happened yet. I was like, Mike, because on my phone, I have it on the top of my phone where it tells you the score, because on the one league that I'm paying attention to. And I was like, Mike, we're still up by like 15. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, it's over. He's like, he scored a 93-yard touchdown run. I was like, are you sure? And then literally when I said, are you sure? It updated. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, okay.
The crazy thing is, like, so Brandon was down 28, and obviously, I think he had 28.6, or like you at halftime he was losing by less than a point.
Yeah.
But it's not like Bijan had a bad half after that. He still scored another, I think, like 11 or 12 points. So, like, even after that first huge run and everything, he still had a good second half. Like, it would have, without that 93-yard touchdown run, I don't know if you guys still pull it out or not.
I don't know.
But anyways, great showing. And that's why I was talking about last week is like, those are the games to pay attention to, right? Is like, hey, at the end of the season, I didn't care so much about my game. 7th and 8th, whatever. Like, okay, I finished 7th or I finished 8th. There's no money. There's no difference, and there's nothing changes really. But who comes in last and who comes in first, like those games have implications. Even who came in third, that, Ryan ended up getting third, which means he gets money. He gets his money. He gets his league fee back. And so those are the games where I was like, hey, this is interesting. And I was watching your game. I got on Xbox with you after, because at halftime, as soon as I saw that, I was like, this game's like, I knew it was over for you.
Yeah.
All right. So it sucks, but at least it's all good and fun. And it was between you and Brandon, and it was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure.
So I created, let me kind of explain what happened here. I created this first picture was 100% just for Brandon. I created those other 2 photos to show the championship and to show the loser. So I set this next photo for Brandon, and Brandon loved the photo. He loved the idea. He's like, I'm going to make that my team image for next season. And I really thought about that, and I was like, I should just make one of these for everyone. You can use it for your team photo. You don't have to, but it was to just show this season in a nutshell, how you did, who was a player on your team who was either consistent or your best player or your keeper or whatever it may be. Everybody was a little bit different. It's 100% for fun, but that was the intention behind this, was to show everybody like, hey, this is what I thought of your team. Obviously I don't know everything, to make a picture for you that maybe we can make this a tradition and you can turn this into your league photo for the next season, and it's fun and just go from there.
Yeah.
But this was Brandon's idea. So this first one is the one I sent to Brandon. It was right after that huge run. I created him, just the thank you for carrying my team out of last, and it's him and Bijan.
Yeah.
I mean, Bijan really did carry his team out of
He
last
did.
place. It was Bijan's game. So I had to make it for him. And that was the whole point of this. And so I wanted to see if you could get the art style. So I used different art style for every single one of these.
Mhm.
Some of them I don't think you'll get at all because it took me forever to figure out like who to do. And a lot of it is going to be 90s like Cartoon Network or adult humor stuff. But I did want to see if you could like pick up on this one. You already called this one out to me. This was South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was for Brandon. Next is for Aaron because he won the title. It's him and JSN holding the championship. But do you know what art style I used on this one? That was my question for you.
I want to say it's it looks like Hey Arnold a little, but I'm not 100% sure.
This was King of the Hill.
Oh, King of the Hill. Okay.
Yep. All right. So next
I like
one.
it, so.
Yeah, I did. I like that one too. Next one is Jacob. So Aaron obviously was JSN. JSN was killer. Jacob, Jonathan Taylor. And then I did put little quotes on some of them I didn't, but just kind of reassuring Jonathan Taylor. He did everything he could and he couldn't be mad at him.
Right.
And then, so art style on this one,
It's Family Guy.
It's 100% Family Guy. Yep.
Like,
100% Family Guy. So there was one art style I did twice and I didn't realize it. It's this next one. You're already going to know it. This is Ryan's.
to South Park as well.
Yeah, this was South Park as well.
I was either going to go with that, honestly, or like Adventure Time.
I thought about Adventure Time after. So there is no Adventure Time on here. I didn't realize that. So I had to make them 2 days apart.
Yeah, because I know your limit. Mhm.
Yeah, so I did Ryan's and I totally spaced that I'd already done South Park, but no harm, no foul.
I do like Ryan's though.
I do too. It felt very symbiotic or symbolic of what Ryan has talked about. The reason he drafted Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce talking about retiring. I felt like it was kind of perfect. So I had him walking off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Next is Robert. So I picked Matthew Stafford. I know it wasn't his keeper. He traded a lot of his team. I picked Matthew Stafford because I looked through his team. This dude dealt with injuries all season. Bucky Irving, Omarion Hampton. Matthew Stafford was like his guy, right? Like at the end of the day, this was the guy who really carried him into the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go if you can figure out this one.
It looks kind of like The Simpsons, but I'm not 100% sure.
This one is
Just because the eyes.
Futurama.
Futurama. Okay.
So The Simpsons, I did on that picture of him. Yeah, so
Aaron.
that was the Simpsons one. This was Futurama. So you're not wrong, right? Similar art
Close,
styles. Yeah. This next one, Terrence. This is the one I sneaky think might be a little hard to do. Obviously, should we run it back? And Devon Achane saying, yeah, because we've already kind of guessed that that's who he's keeping.
Yeah, that's who
like,
he's keeping.
Terrence is from Miami, so I put him on a beach. I just felt like, okay, this is 100% Terrence.
Yeah.
And even the shirt he had in our photo of our league photo that we took was him in that shirt. I was like, dude, this is so perfect.
It's perfect. It looks fantastic.
Do you know the art style?
It looks like Rugrats.
This is 100% Rugrats. You nailed it. Yep.
I know my cartoons. I watched a lot of cartoons when I was a kid.
Yeah. So this is Rugrats, him and Devon Achane. So next up is Sarah and Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, I went Jahmyr Gibbs was her keeper, was her best player. Honestly, the only reason she didn't make it further in the playoffs, though, is his last 2 weeks were just he was terrible compared to what he's been.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she changes that ever. And it was between Jahmyr Gibbs and Jalen Waddle. Jahmyr Gibbs was the player who carried her team. Jalen Waddle was her favorite player.
Yep.
Art style.
I think it looks like Magic School Bus.
So this was Hey Arnold. This was the Hey Arnold one.
Oh, Hey Arnold. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, Joe, I think Joe will know this one. Okay, so next is JJ's. This one I really wanted to kind of lean into. JJ is, he's a sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
I really wanted to kind of lean into him interviewing CMC, and kind of just JJ told me, I remember him being like, if Christian McCaffrey's there, I'm taking him. Like,
yeah,
he believed
in him.
And so I can't, I have to be able to call out when you make a good call. That was bold, right? Like, I was debating taking CMC if he fell to me in the second round. I was like, I might take him there. I had no intention to take him in the first. JJ drafted 6th, took him there, knew he was going to have a killer season, and was right. But I'll let you project who you think the art style is. Yes.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second but I'm staring at the picture because it looks just like JJ.
It does, right? Like, I was really, like, oh my gosh,
it looks like him. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm having a hard time trying to figure out like what art style it would be just because it looks spot on like JJ.
When it came out, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I need to use this art style forever, because his was the last one I did. Yeah. I was like, I need to use that art style for everything.
Yeah, because it legit looks like him. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I don't know. It's not American Dad, I don't think.
It is American Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So JJ's was American Dad. I was like, okay, I think from now on I might just start using American Dad, because it killed, like, it even hit the tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
It's spot on. It looks just like him.
All right. So this next one is mine. So this one, there's a little call out in there. If you figure it out, you figure it out. But
yeah, that's the first thing I saw.
Yeah. So my ongoing joke, Puka Nacua, besides his last week, those last 3 weeks, he scored 45. He's the reason I'm not in the toilet bowl. Mm-hmm. The week before that, he's put up 36. Like, he legitimately at the very end of the season is the reason I had a chance to win a championship. So,
for sure.
That's why I said I've kept him for the last 2 years. Like, if I keep you again, are we going to make a run? He's like, I'll carry you. I
promise. Because he did carry you.
He did. So, art style?
For this, well, given your t-shirt, I'd say Ed, and Eddie. Ed, and Eddie.
I did. I went with Ed, and Eddie because the art style was on the shirt that I was wearing. And I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Well, that, and then your expression on it, it makes it look like you're like, yeah, I'm making some bad decisions right now.
When I made that and my face came out like that, like, I was like, that I look terrible in this.
He looks terrible in that, but it looks like he's making wrong decisions with that expression.
Exactly. I was like, you know what? That is perfect. Like, I feel like that was me all season. It was just making bad decision after bad decision. And I looked at it and went, because I showed it to Sarah. She's like, you look horrible. I was like, I know I look the worst out of everyone, but it feels 100% right because of it.
It is. It's fantastic.
All right. So last but not least is your guys' photo. So yours was really the only one I had a hard time figuring out, because you made the trade. You traded Amon-Ra. You got George Kittle, but he didn't play at the end, so I didn't really want to use him. Derrick Henry was the other player I debated here, but again, it was a player you traded for. I thought about leaning into the Patriots or the 49ers, because at the very end, you guys had a lot of Patriots and 49ers on your team.
Yeah,
I know but decided to just lean into, you guys lost. So at the end of the day, I'm sure it's more of a, you know what? Keeping you cost us everything. And I'm sure that's exactly how it felt. Is Brian Thomas Jr. was the reason while he was the start of your keeper, was also the downfall of your team.
Yeah. So I know Mike doesn't watch much, so I can say what he had texted me.
Yeah.
Because he added more context after we lost. Right after he had said that, Brandon had beat us, he is like, F Brian Thomas, because it was the worst keeper pick we've ever had. He's like, I can't believe we kept this guy. So the picture is very fitting.
Yes.
And then he was regretting the Genty pick as well. So I'm like, I get it. I'm like,
I think
it is what it is.
For me, just my perspective of your team. And real quick, art style.
Well, it's an anime, so I mean, I watch a lot of anime, so there could be different ones. It's not Dragon Ball, but
It is Dragon Ball. It was supposed to be
Dragon
Ball.
Well, it was going to be. I was going to say it's either it looks Dragon Ball like, or it looks like Attack on Titan or My Hero.
But. So I did Dragon Ball, and I wanted it to be the devastation of the androids.
Oh, okay.
So if you can see, so if you see in the background,
arc,
kind of destroyed. I kind of leaned into it because I know Mike doesn't watch this all the time, and I know that is your favorite arc is that.
Is it all arc? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have it in. If you look in the background, the stadium's crumbling and like
basically how our season went. Yeah.
Yeah. So so yours actually got a little bit extra time because I really wanted it to be perfect. I do love this. So ChatGPT totally has. If you look at your shirt, you are wearing your Jeff shirt.
My Jeff shirt.
And it actually got that on there. I re-looked at the picture. You could only see like a little bit of Jeff, and you can see where it says strategist. I was impressed that it got this shirt. I was like, dang, that's.
Well, we're totally using this for the profile, but I'm using this for a lot just because I love how it looks. But then, I love Jeff and I love that shirt. So
yeah,
fantastic.
No. So like, if we look at your team, it sucks you lost. I think I do think Brian Thomas Jr. cost you, right? Even if you, let's say you don't keep Brian Thomas Jr. and you don't keep Jonathan Taylor or JSN or whoever, right? Like, let's just say you keep no one. We'll just go from that perspective. You then would have leaned into your wide receivers more.
Yeah.
And I think that's what ended up costing you because while, Alshon Jeffrey or Ashton Jeanty wasn't, I don't know. Dang. That's a Freudian slip there.
That's because that's bringing back bad memories. That's why.
Yeah, I know. I was like, while Ashton Jeanty wasn't as good as we expected him, with Amon-Ra and all the other players you guys did have, I don't think you missed on a lot of players. You still had Breece Hall. You still had, I forget your third running back. I don't have it off of the top of my head.
It's Henderson.
These are all players that were successful at certain points in the season. And so is Jeanty, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think in the third round, when you guys take whoever you took, I don't remember who your third round pick was, but
I think it was Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. Okay. So you took Terry McLaurin, you had Amon-Ra, but then you guys, your next two picks are Trevion and Breece Hall.
Yep.
And that changes. You're not going to go Trevion and Breece Hall. You're going to take another receiver in there. Yeah. And that's where I think your strategy would have changed and probably been better. Right. I don't blame you for what you did. Hey, we have 3 stud wide receivers. We let's get running backs because I don't want to be shortchanged. Yep. But I don't think you do that, right? Like you might have even in the second round gone, hey, let's not go Ashton. And I think you still do, but you might go, let's get JSN there or whoever you might have decided in that scenario.
So for me, it would have been a back and forth conversation with Mike and I. For me, I typically lean towards wide receivers, regardless of the best player on the board. So it probably
Devontae would have been there.
Yeah, like it would have been a conversation Mike and I would have had for a while, like between another wide receiver, because I lean towards wide receivers because I feel like we've won. That's been our formula to win at least a championship. Is like if we can get at least one good running back somewhere and stack wide receivers, that's how we'll win. So, but yeah, it would have been an interesting conversation and interesting outcome.
Yeah, I honestly think like looking back at your draft, because after the Terry McLaurin pick, your next 4 picks were not wide receivers.
Yeah, they were running backs.
You went Trevion, Breece Hall, Baker Mayfield, and or maybe your 4th pick after that was a receiver. You might have taken a receiver at that point, but Ricky Pearsall. Yeah.
Oh, it was Pearsall. Yeah.
So like so from rounds, essentially after round 3, you guys didn't touch receiver until round 7.
Yeah.
And even in round 8, you didn't touch another receiver. You took a backup running back.
Yeah.
So I don't think you do that in the scenario where you're not keeping Brian Thomas Jr.
No, because at that point, because Brian Thomas Jr. was, I think, a 9th or 10th round pick. So it's like, why would we get another receiver? Let's get another position of that.
Right. You had 4 receivers within the first 8 rounds, essentially. Best way to look at it.
Yep.
Get a good quarterback in Baker. Get load up on running backs. But that changes if you're like, hey, we don't have a 3rd wide receiver.
Totally.
So that's what I thought ended your season was Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't as good as you expected. All of us
did, yeah.
Me included. And because of that, you waited on a receiver in a 3 wide receiver league.
Yep.
So really, Ricky Pearsall got injured pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were playing Amon-Ra. Terry McLaurin was hurt for most of it. You had nobody.
Nope.
So that's why I was like, looking at your draft, I don't even hate it. I think you guys would have been fine if you don't keep anyone.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that you felt like you had a stud wide receiver. So you had Brian Thomas Jr. and Amon-Ra. We can figure out wide receiver 3. Unfortunately, you had to figure out wide receiver 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So that was the end of it. And even for me, like I look back on my draft and said, oh, okay. Like I didn't hate my team at any point. My miscalculations all came from like trading players at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But I like trading, and I think sometimes you lose and sometimes you win, but it's always fun. Keeps the league interesting, and it gets players on your team you're interested in, right? But I went through just 100%. As an exercise, just for myself. If I don't make that trade with Brandon, so I don't make the trade with Brandon, right? Which we always say, like Steven makes trades with Brandon, blah, 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 blah. So I don't have Lamar Jackson on my team. I keep Bo Nix. I then probably pick up and keep Drake May or Matthew Stafford because they both were on my team at one point. And I would have picked up one and I would have kept him on my bench because there would have been no reason to not have 2 quarterbacks. But I just said, okay, but I'm starting Bo Nix every week that I have. I would have won 3 more games because I would have had Emeka Egbuka. I would have had Derrick Henry, even though he wasn't producing at a high level, was producing better, or not Derrick Henry, I'm sorry. Bo Nix, who was producing better than Lamar Jackson was after week 3.
Yep.
And Emeka Egbuka was outperforming Jameson Williams until Jameson Williams started going off and Emeka Egbuka fell off. Like they actually covered each other for long enough that I would have won 3 more.
Would have been fine.
I was like, wow, making those trades lost me a bunch of games. So
it happens.
Sucks that I lost, but at the same time, I still loved doing it. Like it kept the league interesting, which was fun.
Well, and that's the thing I want to add too, is like with the trades that you did, I mean, yes, it hurt you record wise, but look at it this way. Like I told you, like we've spoken about multiple times, you doing the trade, it opened up a lot more trades this year. Like we've had the most trades in this league this year than we've ever had from when I was here, or how long have I've been here. So I'm like, yes, it cost you your record, but at the same time, I'm like, got more people interacting with each other, being more willing to do trades, because this was the most trades that we've ever like seen.
Well, like you and I made a trade. I made the trade with Brandon. I made a trade with Robert and made a trade with JJ. JJ made a trade with Robert as well. It's fun. Obviously we have people in the league that feel like nobody trades with them, but obviously we can always change that and get everybody else involved. We already have half the league making trades, right?
Yeah. Well, when we were going to make one with Ryan too at one point. So
yeah, I was too, actually. Ryan was interested in trading Joe Burrow. And then he got hurt. And I was like, I don't.
Yes.
I'm good. Thanks. But yeah, it's fun. It was a lot of fun this season. I really enjoyed it. I think the podcast helped, and I appreciate you coming along. And
of course,
it's been fun. I really do hope to get more people on next year, and maybe we do the Discord. But
I think it's a good idea.
This was a lot of fun this season, and I really do hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
Including our friends from work and, other people who just seem to watch us for fun every now and then. So thank you all for watching.
We appreciate it.
We do. And it's not about making money or anything off of this, but it is about enjoying our time and, talking smack, making more people want to be in our league. That's what I want. I want more people to be jealous of our league.
Well, and then get them interest in fantasy as well. So
true. All right, guys. Well, see you all soon. We don't know when our next one's going to be. We've talked about Super Bowl or draft or, there's lots of opportunities, but I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. So if nothing else, I hope you enjoy this one, and we'll see you all after our draft at the absolute latest.
Yep. For sure.
Bye, guys.
See ya.